Hey, in this video, we're going to be reviewing the Giant Stance 2 in the 29er version. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got another great bike that has been loaned to us from our good friends at Truly Spoken. Mark and the good people down there let us take this bike to test it and review it. And they are our local Giant dealership. They're also extremely knowledgeable in all things that have to do with bikes. They're very family friendly, and so they can help you with any of your bike needs. Well, today we have the Giant Stance 2 in the 29er version. This is Giant's entry-level bike into full suspension mountain bikes. If you go on their website and you enter in price ranges from the highest to the lowest, then this bike comes in underneath the Anthem, the Rain, and the Trance. So this is a great bike for someone who is wanting to get into mountain biking, maybe wants to do some more technical trail riding, or is just new to the sport. This is a bike that you can count on to be reliable. It is very high quality built. It is made for those type of challenges. And so it's a perfect bike for that entry level person who wants to get a little bit more technical, wants to move up in the type of trail riding that they do. Or perhaps you're maybe like me, who is a little bit older rider, and you just want the comfort that comes from a full suspension bike when you're out riding those trails in the deep woods. So I'm just going to give you a regular guy's review because I'm not a professional mountain biker. I'm just a guy who likes to ride bikes like many of you who want to get out and maybe ride in the woods or maybe get out in the trails or something along those lines. And so we're going to start off with what I believe is the first thing that gets everybody's attention, and that is aesthetics. Now what I mean by that is how the bike looks and how it rides and feels. Well, first off, this bike looks great. Whenever you consider how far mountain bikes have come in the design and geometry over the last couple of decades, it is amazing. And Giant definitely has a great design department. Now, they're a little more conservative than some brands, but that doesn't mean they're boring. In fact, if you look and notice how the different shaping is with the hydroformed aluminum frame that this has with this Alux aluminum frame, Giant does an outstanding job with the shaping. It has excellent welds and different build and everything. It's very, very well built. And it just looks great. I love this blue ash. This is my favorite color in this series of bikes. It looks great in the sun. It's just a great looking bike. Then of course is how does this bike ride and how does it feel? So let's go out and see how it looks out on the trail and how it rides. Okay guys, let's take a look at the geometry of this bike and see how that translates into the ride, because that's what really makes a bike feel a certain way. Every bike has a different flavor or feel in the way that it rides, and so geometry plays a very important part in that. The Giant Stance comes with a 16.9 inch reach on the medium frame as well as a 45.6 inch wheelbase. It has a 67.5 degree head tube angle coupled with a 75 degree seat tube angle, and all that means is that it is a very comfortable ride, yet still nimble enough to get around the corners and things like that. And this is helped with these wide 780mm handlebars to give you lots of control. So next up is the Drivetrain. A lot of people are excited about this because they've upgraded from the previous year. The previous year they had SRAM components, and this year they have Shimano Dior components. Starting with the Shimano Dior Shadow Plus derailleur and SLX cranks connected to a 30-tooth narrow-wide chainring, going back to a 10 by 51-tooth 12-speed cassette. It also comes with Shimano Dior click shifters for a nice, confident shift. The stance also has some great quality components in the brakes. It has a Shimano MT200 hydraulic disc brakes. It has a 180 millimeter rotor in the front and 160 millimeter in the back. So the number one thing that stands out on a mountain bike is its suspension, especially in a full suspension bike. So let's take a look at the components of the suspension. It starts with Suntour's Radon R shock absorber with 120 millimeters of travel based around Giant's FlexPoint suspension technology designed for the seat stays to flex. There's no lockout on the shock, but it is air adjustable and has a dampener knob to dial in your weight and trail type. The 2021 Stance 2 comes with Giant's newly designed Crest 34 RCL front fork shock. It has 130 millimeters of travel for very smooth front suspension, and it is air adjustable for your weight, and it does have a manual lockout to adjust the firmness, as well as a rebound adjustment to fine tune for the trail type. Let's take a look at the tires and the wheels and the hubs on this bike. It comes with the Maxxis Forecaster 29 by 2.35 EXO tubeless ready tire mounted on Giant's XCT 29 alloy wheel set with a 30 millimeter inner. Now the front hub is a Shimano Boost 15 by 110 through axle, but the rear hub is a Boost 141 quick release axle. No one's really sure why they use quick release, but that's what this bike has. There's also a lot of little extras on this bike that give it a great value. For example, we start with the cabling, which is all internally routed with several service ports, and then it also has Giant's Romero saddle. It's a pretty comfortable saddle for some people. And then just your basic Giant contact stem. Well guys, I sure hope this has been a helpful and informative bike review for you if you're interested in the Giant Stance full suspension mountain bike. This is a great bike that if you are new to the sport, if you're wanting to upgrade or want to move up into mountain biking, well, you can't go wrong with this model. And one more time, I want to say thank you to the good people at Truly Spoken. Thank you to Mark and the staff for letting me borrow this bike to test and review. And if you're interested in a bike like this, be sure and go by and talk with them, and they will help you in finding the right bike for you, perhaps this one or whatever style you're into. And be sure and tell them that Troy sent you.